Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California. He was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs and grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. Steve Jobs was a creative and curious individual from a young age. As a child, he was fascinated by electronics and technology, and he spent a lot of time taking apart and fixing gadgets around his house. He was also interested in Eastern spirituality and had a lifelong passion for design and aesthetics. In high school, Jobs met Steve Wozniak, who would later become his business partner and co-founder of Apple Computer. Jobs attended Reed College in Portland, Oregon, but dropped out after only one semester. He later dropped in on college classes that interested him, including a calligraphy class that would later influence the design of Apple's first computer, the Macintosh. Jobs was known for being charismatic and confident, and he had a talent for marketing and selling his ideas. He had a strong vision for the future of technology and was always looking for new and innovative ways to push the boundaries of what was possible. Overall, Steve Jobs was a driven and passionate young man who was always searching for new experiences and ideas. His creativity, curiosity, and vision would go on to shape the technology industry and change the world. In 1976, Jobs and Steve Wozniak co-founded Apple Computer in Jobs' parents' garage. It is often cited as a classic example of American entrepreneurship and the garage startup mentality. In the 1970s, Jobs and Wozniak were young tech enthusiasts who were passionate about computer technology and its potential to change the world. They had a shared vision for building a computer that was affordable and accessible to everyone, and they set out to do just that. This early episode in the history of Apple is often seen as a testament to the ingenuity and determination of Jobs and Wozniak, and it has become an enduring part of the company's folklore. The garage where they started the company has even been designated a historical landmark by the city of Los Altos, California. They began by designing and building the Apple I computer in Jobs' parents' garage, using spare parts and scrap materials they had lying around. The Apple I was introduced in 1976 and was followed by the even more successful Apple II, which established Apple as a major player in the computer industry. The company's first product, the Apple I, was introduced the following year and was followed by the Apple II, which became wildly popular and established Apple as a major player in the computer industry. The Apple I was introduced in 1976 and was one of the first commercially available personal computers. It was designed and built by Steve Wozniak, with help from Steve Jobs. The Apple I was a simple circuit board with a microprocessor, memory, and basic input/output circuitry, and it required users to supply their own keyboard, monitor, and power supply. Despite its simplicity, the Apple I was well received by hobbyists and tech enthusiasts, and it established Apple as a player in the personal computer market. The Apple II was introduced the following year and was a more fully featured computer that came in a plastic case and was sold with a keyboard, power supply, and other peripherals. It was designed to be accessible and easy to use, and it quickly became popular with both home and business users. The Apple II was one of the first computers to feature color graphics, and it was widely used for gaming and other applications. Both the Apple I and Apple II were significant milestones in the history of personal computing, and they helped to establish Apple as a major player in the industry. The success of these early computers laid the foundation for the company's future success, and many of the innovations that were introduced with the Apple I and Apple II can still be seen in Apple's products today. Steve Jobs was forced to resign from Apple in 1985 after a power struggle with the company's board of directors. At the time, Apple was facing increasing competition in the personal computer market and was struggling to maintain its position as a leading innovator. Jobs was known for being a demanding and difficult boss, and his management style had come into conflict with the rest of the company's leadership. The board of directors eventually lost confidence in Jobs and made the decision to remove him from his role as CEO. After leaving Apple, Jobs founded Next, a computer company focused on developing high-end, software-based systems for businesses. He also bought Pixar Animation Studios and became its CEO, helping to turn the company into one of the world's leading animation studios. In 1996, Apple was in a dire financial position and was in danger of going out of business. The company decided to acquire Next, and Jobs returned to Apple as a consultant. He quickly took on a larger role within the company, and he was officially named interim CEO in 1997. Under Jobs' leadership, Apple underwent a major resurgence. He introduced new products such as the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad, which helped to transform the company into one of the most valuable and innovative technology companies in the world. Jobs' return to Apple is often seen as a turning point in the company's history, and he is credited with leading Apple's revival and guiding the company to its current position of success. Jobs was known for his vision, design sense, and marketing savvy. He was also known for his demanding and sometimes abrasive personality. He passed away on October 5, 2011, following a long battle with pancreatic cancer. Steve Jobs' battle with pancreatic cancer was a difficult and heartbreaking episode in his life. Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic neuroendocrine tumor, a rare form of pancreatic cancer, in 2003. Despite the diagnosis, Jobs initially chose to keep the news of his illness private and continued to work at Apple. However, as his condition worsened, Jobs took several leaves of absence from the company for medical treatments and procedures. In August 2011, Jobs announced that he was stepping down as CEO of Apple due to his health problems, and he passed away just a few months later, on October 5, 2011. Jobs' death was a shock to many people, and it was a loss felt around the world. He was widely regarded as a visionary and a transformative leader, and his contributions to the technology industry had a profound impact on the world. Jobs' death was a heartbreaking moment for his family, friends, and colleagues, and it marked the end of an era in the history of technology. These are just a few of the most notable stories from Steve Jobs' life. If you'd like to write a longer article, I would recommend doing additional research to get a more in-depth understanding of Jobs and his impact on the technology industry.